he does anything else, it just makes the fight a lot easier for me.
Chisanga Malata here with the man who I've been interviewing for the best part of a decade. I happily call him more than this is more than a fighter journalist relationship. You check up on my family every time we see each other. You shoot me texts every now and then. Of course, I'm talking about the one, the only Michael Venom Page. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good, good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Just preparing myself for my sleep pattern to be
Yeah,
ruined
yeah.
again because baby number two is coming in 6 weeks.
Congrats, congrats,
Yeah,
congrats,
thank
congrats.
you very much, man. I'm excited. I'm excited, but
But you're experienced now. Don't worry. You got it now. You
yeah,
got
but
it.
I don't want more gray hairs in my
Yeah.
beard. You see, I've plucked some of them out. Like I started to get back to a normal, an even keel, but now diving straight back into the fire. But we're not here to talk about me and my parenting. We're here to talk about you. You return into the octagon next weekend at UFC 319 against
Yeah.
Jared Cannonier. Um, Obviously, we saw you in middleweight against Sharabullah early this year, and you said that you'd be willing to stay at the weight class if there were entertaining fights or fun fights, I think was the exact quote. So the booking of a Cannonier fight was a bit surprising to a lot of fight fans. What was it about this fight that made you think, yeah, I'll take that?
No, it wasn't even that because exactly what I said. I wanted to go back to welterweight. I was assuming that I was gonna get after that fight, that performance. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get loads of requests now, like to push for another big fight. And it was just silent, man. It was silent. So I was asking questions, and then I was getting given names that for me, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I was like, I just beat someone that I'm sure, had he beaten me, he would be talking title elimination next. So then why am I getting a top number 20 rank and a number 22 rank? And in my head, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So I just feel like that when after speaking to a lot of people and then going back and forth and so on and so forth, realize the welterweight division is very political. There's a lot of experienced guys that are at the top, and it's a lot harder to push them to fight. Whereas the middleweight, there's a lot of up and coming guys, and they just want to take fights just to try and keep proving themselves and going forward. So I was just like, yeah, let me just go to ask for a middleweight fight. And I had a couple of names come through. Cannonier, it landed on Cannonier. It had somebody else, and I said yes to. Then that I don't know how it fell out, but it fell out, and then Cannonier came confirmed, and I was like, yes. To be fair, it's definitely a more exciting fight.
Fair enough. And you mentioned it there that it became very difficult for you to get a fight after that very good performance against Shara. Do you think that you were a victim of your own success in that, right?
I don't know. Again, I just feel like it's a weird one. I am an experienced kind of veteran in the game, but I'm still a rookie in UFC.
Hmm.
So I guess I can't ask for like some of these guys can probably just say like I don't want to fight that person, and they got the branding in the UFC to kind of fine, we have to kind of give it to allow him to do what he's doing. Whereas fighting me would be dangerous for some of these guys. So they're like, yeah, yeah, no, I'm not interested right now. I want to try and fight this person to get back to the title. So I think everyone's just being a bit more tactical in that division, and it just feels like a roadblock at the moment. It's a bit messy. There's a lot of people that are pushing for fights. Close it, please. Yeah, a lot of people that are pushing for fights, and it's for me. It just until even now, you've got a lightweight that stepped up to fight for the title, which means there's even more waiting time in the welterweight division. So it's like, yeah, let me just get on with my business and wait until there's space and movement again at the welterweight.
And I know you detailed the struggles to get a fight at welterweight there, but Cannonier landed in your lap is almost a blessing in disguise,
Yeah,
given I think he's right. Is he number five or number six?
like I think it's like seven or eight, something like that.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, he's there. He's up there. He's there or thereabouts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like with a win over him, like I know of having interviewed you for the best part of a decade, you never look too far into the future. But
Hmm.
with a win over him, you were literally one away from a middleweight title shot, which is something I'm sure you didn't even envisage being a possibility when you joined the UFC.
100%. And again, like it's what I say, just keep pushing forward, keep progressing forward. And as long as the fight that you get represents progression, then it does put me in a very, very good place. So this win, 100%. I'm not sure who next person is going to be, but it definitely puts me in a great location for the middleweight division.
And obviously, you're fighting on the same card as a middleweight title fight. What's your thoughts on that fight between Khamzat and DDP? Because
It's
like it's the unstoppable force meets the immovable object type thing.
literally.
Yeah, I'm done writing off DDP every single time. Like, and I mean this in the most respectful of ways.
Same.
The way how he operates is
Mm,
almost the opposite way in which you're told, in which you're instructed when
yes.
it's effective for him. And then obviously Hamza has just been this unstoppable force so far. So what's your thoughts?
It's exactly that, and I've said this multiple times, and it feels bad because I feel like I'm being disrespectful, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. But I look at DDP, and he doesn't. Nothing about him tells me he's going to be a champion. If I watch them in terms of skill wise, I look at his work, and I'm like, yeah, like there's nothing that stands out to me that's really impressive. And then you look at like the likes of like a Hamza, or you look at like Adesanya, you look at these guys that you're like, yeah, I can see the champion in him. Like I can see there's something about him, star quality, but also his gift. Whereas DDP doesn't quite have anything significant that says anything. But one thing he does do is he just knows how to squeeze out a win. He just knows how to find the road to success. I don't know how he does it. And exactly what you said. I've been telling people I'm gonna say Hamzat for this fight, but if DDP wins this fight, I'm never betting against him again, ever again. Because again, and like I said, I feel like I'm being disrespectful, but he almost for guys that compete, they're gonna understand what I'm saying. Sometimes you might be sparring against like a complete beginner. Just you're helping them along, and they hit you, because they throw something that doesn't make sense because they're not trained. DDP seems like the most experienced version of that. And it's not supposed, it's not conventional, it's messy, but he gets it done. So it's I think, yeah, exactly what you said at the beginning. It's two titans fighting, and it's hard to kind of put your money anywhere, but I'm edging Hamza, but this will be the last time I bet against him, definitely.
And I don't want to put any bad juju into the air or anything, but will you be making 185 pounds just in case anything happens and then they call you up and say, do you want to fight for the title? Because obviously Hanzat's had issues making weight, obviously not when he's been at middleweight, but he has had issues in the past. But will you be making 185 pounds if opportunity comes that you step in?
100%. Like, why would I not? And again, I've been training really intently, training with the middleweights. I'm comfortable there. So 100%, I'm gonna make that weight. And if something was to go wrong, and they ask to put me in, please understand that I'm putting my hand up and I'm jumping straight into that fight. Like face first into that fight. So yeah, definitely.
When are we going to see you in London fighting? Because I feel the UFC have missed a trick with not putting you on or you having you headline at the O2 Arena. Obviously, the Wembley Arena was your home for many years, but we want to see you in Greenwich competing at the O2, ideally headlining. And for me, I have one fight in particular I'd like to see you take part in, and I think you know who I'm talking about, a former sparring
Definitely.
partner of yours, but. When do you think that we're going to finally see you compete in
I
London?
feel maybe next year is gonna be because they're back in March as normally. And I feel like after this fight, I potentially maybe one more, but I'm still gonna have loads of time thereafter to have a fight in March and to be ready for a fight in March. So I'm hoping, I get that the big fight that just means a lot for everybody in the UK, like a Clash of the Titans UK battle, and yeah, I think next year, 2026, we'll see it.
Birmingham versus London, right?
That's it, man. Has to be.
And final one for me. Stylistically, how do you foresee this fight with Jared playing out? Because personally, I think he's going to try close the distance, clinch you, utilize his strength, which he's very strong. Obviously, he's a former heavyweight.
Hmm.
Try to nullify you against the fence. Is that how you guys have foreseen this fight playing out?
100%. Anybody, if he's smart enough, he's gonna just want to power forward and like you say, get into clinches, get a hold of me, try and take me down to the floor, rough me up, utilize his size, utilize his strength, and this is what we've been working for. I don't see him being able to do anything else. If he does anything else, it just makes the fight a lot easier for me. If you try to stand, I know he's got heavy hands, but if you're going to try to outstrike me, it's going to be a problem for you. So, and again, we made the adjustments. We understand what he's going to come in with. We understand how strong this man is. You can just tell. Um, I've been watching all of his fights, and I know it's going to be in for a tough ride. But I'm not expecting anything else, and I'm welcoming that challenge. So I'm just looking forward to just getting in there and just showing that I've done my work.
All right, Mike, it's a pleasure as always. I appreciate the time. I was about to say good luck with the weight cut. It's not as big a weight cut these days.
Nah,
You have to go.
nah,
You're eating good in
not at
these
all.
weight up into fights, but I hope the rest of preparations go well, and I'll speak to you soon.